breathe, where shadows play, and dreamers wake before the day. Tune your heart where the wild winds blow, and follow the tide to the radio. Remembered deep in your bones, the rivers hum, the path calls, echoes dance through the ancient halls. A spiral tongue of moonlit wit whispers truths you half admit. We drift together, and though apart we roam, my voice is always a current and will always lead you home. Beneath the dark, the dream unfolds. Silver threads through the stories told. Beneath each breath, the night hums low. The pulse, the wave, the undertow. Surrender softly. Let it flow. And lose yourself in the dark moon radio. Good morning, welcome to the Dark Moon Radio. Here we are once again on a Monday morning. We're still here, absolutely. Come on, I had a Monday morning that was like amazing. I'm still here. When I had a stroke, I woke up on a Monday morning and life was very different, and I will never forget that. So it's like, yeah, I'm struggling with energy. Oh boy, am I struggling with energy. Energy is all rerouting, and it's all in different places right now, and it's like, okay, let's just keep going. So I'm struggling with energy, and I mustn't overdo it. Right, I'm not stupid, and my meds make me exhausted, and the meds are doing weird stuff to my body as well. So we're struggling, so I'm going to do 9 till 10. 9 till 10 is going to be the regular time for this. I used to do 2 hours. Yes, I get it. And I've tried to do 2 hours, and I fall over about an hour and a half into it. So we're not doing 2 hours. We're just getting back up on our feet. This is going to be a nice, easy hour, 9 till 10. How was your weekend? Dear, sometimes finding a mooring place to moor up is harder than it looks. Okay, you reckon you just sort of drift it into a. Whoops, why am I getting yellow triangles? Are you on YouTube yet? I don't know. I should have checked my levels. I don't know. We shall see if YouTube is still playing. I can't deal with view channel. Nope. Okay, what's going on with that then? I have it my end. What's it not doing this end? Okay, excuse me a minute while I sort out some technical. I don't know. I'm too tired to work out. It doesn't like doing it there. Okay, let's find it in someplace else. So yeah, Find a mooring because it's very, and yeah, you've got to have a really, really long gangplank because you can't get near to the bank. So yes, I'm on limited energy, and I was like trying to move the boat over a sand bank, and it didn't really work very well first couple of times, but we got it. Eventually, I had some help, and yeah, it's doing its thing now. Okay, there we go. Live in session. It should be working in theory. The theory is always good. Have I spelt things right? Okay, there we go. That's hello YouTube. I got you working too. YouTube is actually far more a pain in the neck than my radio station. I can get it up on the radio station quite easily. But anyway, back to the boat. So yeah, I have a 57. Is it 57 meters or 57 foot? A narrowboat, and we have to move it every 2 weeks. And we just ran out of water this morning. Of course we did, but we're heading towards water places, and I've got some big barrels full, so it's not that much of a train smash. But it was the drama of trying to moor it in a shallow space. Now we're not a flat bottom, so we can kind of edge closer, but I don't think we're moving much, and we're slightly off kilter. It's all moored up properly, and we've got a gangplank that just about reaches. It's a bit scary for me because I wobble a lot when I walk. I have an essential tremor, which means that my ankles and wrists really wobble. My hands could have this tremor, and it's going to get worse. It's a genetic thing. There's nothing I can do about it. And the beta blockers that I was prescribed back in January, I can't take those anymore because I've had the stroke. So yeah, things annoy me, but it does mean that I wobble a bit when I walk, quite a bit actually, and I can fall over fairly easily. And that sort of gangplank is where you've got at least a meter between and a drop into the water. Is a very scary thing. It's like, okay, we're going to take this slowly, and I'm probably going to take my stick along with me. But it's something that has to be done. I'm not going to run away from this. This is something that just has to be done. Anyway, let's play a tune. These are all my musics. If you're new here, yeah, I make all my own musics. I'm strange. I'm weird. A lot of them has hypnosis in them. In fact, most of them have hypnosis in them. Hypnotic, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, all to empower, all right? So it's probably not a good idea to listen to it while you're driving. You just sort of tune some of the stuff out if that's the case. But all of it is meant to empower, to make you feel better. And there's magic in them. There's magic, there's spells, there's all kinds of things in them. So yeah, just listen with discernment and at your own risk, as they say. Everything's at your own risk these days. So let's play the Sisterhood's Weave. I'm off to Glastonbury for a weird thing. Every now and again I get strange, and after my stroke I got strange, and I just decided I needed to go and walk the land round Glastonbury. What's it sending me a message? So I'm going off to Glastonbury soon to do a goddess temple workshop, which should be fun. So let's play the Sisterhood's Weave.
Let the stones remember what the conquerors destroyed, the wisdom that was silenced. At Glastonbury's holy tour, the priestesses once danced. Through labyrinth paths they walked the world, in trance and vision glanced. The Sisterhood of Avalon kept vigil through the night, where goddesses and sacred wells reflected the starry lights. They read the land like parchment, every hill, spring and tree, a text of ancient knowledge and knowing, lost to Christianity. But something lingers in the mists that rises from the mere. They attempt to whisper of the old ways, the ways who stood. Our seekers walk the ley lines where the ancestors once trod. The core is in the landscape, in the seasonal wheels turn. Britain's pagan heartbeat never fully ceased to sound. It pulses still through stone and spring, and every sacred ground. Yet the stones still remember what the conquerors destroyed.
Okay, I've got loops going on. Ah, I hate loops. There we go. No looping, please. Nope, and another one. I've been pressing buttons. It's all very funny. Stop it. Stop it. Thank you. Just stop it. I get my technology all in a bit of a fuddle every now and again. That's going to happen. That's allowed. You know, there's so many things that I have to negotiate round these days. It's ridiculous. It's when your brain sort of has two holes in it that he didn't have before, and it's kind of like a different space. I've been working out sort of. I want to put another update. I have a Patreon and a Substack, and the Patreon one has my stroke recovery thing. One of the things is I lost a bit of my words, so if I stutter a bit, that's the aphasia. That's a new word for you. Aphasia. And the other thing is extreme tiredness and trying to sort of negotiate through. Everything just takes a lot of doing, whereas before it was so easy. And I'm not complaining. I've had a very healthy life on the whole, and suddenly, yes, this is what happens when you're old. So, okay, I'm going to I will get over this. I will push through and come out the other side. But I have to make certain, like, I've got to slow down. Do you know how to slow down? I fucking don't know how to slow down. All right. I have no idea how to slow down. I go and do stuff and then I can't. And then I run out of juice. And it's like, okay, I can't really pump up my juice with sugar. It doesn't really work that way. But yeah, there's also sort of high levels of fatigue and high levels of depression. Now, the depression isn't coming from me, that's coming from my meds. But trying to work out, like, you've got to tell your brain that isn't me, that isn't me, that isn't me, and that thought isn't me. That thought was definitely not me. And keep sort of, what do they call it? What the buzzword is, like, dysregulation. So you're having dysregulation. You have to regulate your nervous system. These are all new buzzwords. Well, a long time ago it was mantras, and a few longer time ago it was breath work. And yeah, I've followed the trends of what's the latest thing. And okay, fine, dysregulating, regulating your nervous system, fine. That's what I have to do. That's what I have to do. But trying to calm down. Have you noticed that? Just trying to calm down and focus. And that's what I was doing yesterday. I was like, yeah, I was doing locks. I was doing physical work. I have palpitations, absolutely. My body just goes, "Ooh, what's this? This is exercise. I haven't done this in a while." Um, and it's just calm down. Calm the thoughts, calm. Right. So, first of all, what do? What is your go-to place when you need to calm down? When you recognize that your emotions are all over the frickin' shop and it's calm down time. So, I recognized I think, right. I need my stories. I need to throw my mind into those old stories. So, you build up a story. So where are you? You could rewrite your own stories. You can go back until when, say you were 18 again and you want to rewrite your past. That's always quite sweet. My mind gets involved with that. It likes that sort of things, rewrite your history. So certain choices you made, you didn't make those choices. You made other choices. Rewriting your history. Now, if you think about it, multiverses, every choice you make is um, every choice you could have made and you might not have made, all of those choices have a universe out there. I like this idea. I'm not sure I go for it 100%, but I like the idea. So, you are going for a choice that you didn't make. Now, I've decided I didn't want to do that this time round. I wanted to sort of make up a story. Make up a story maybe about the future. And so I did. And while I was walking, while I was doing the stuff, I threw my mind into this story. And it got happy. It actually got happy with that. It gave me enough energy to keep going. And this is yeah, trial and error. You've got to find out what makes your mind um, settle down, calm, and it's like there's a whole bunch of things that you need to sort of work out what works for you. Sometimes I had a beach and I used to go for a walk on the beach in my mind, and I could feel the sand beneath my feet. I could sort of go for a little paddle in the water. I could sometimes go for a little swim. It was not a problem, and the sun wasn't overly hot, but it was beautiful and clear and clean and calm down. Everything was calm. And this is what I'm struggling for. And it's like it's working. Okay, I did manage to do yesterday. I fell over and needed a sleep in the afternoon, but that was allowed. I made sure of that. And yeah, yesterday was done fine. This morning I'm still tired. Okay, fine. Still, slept quite well-ish, but I'm still using the place where whenever I'm awake, I'm trying to go into that calm story that I'm building. It's like reading a book or watching a movie. Talking about movies, I have a friend who came around and we watched Apex. Oh my goodness. Charlotte, Charlene Theron. I don't know much about the actress, but she's very beautiful. I mean, like, she's sculptured beautifully. Not an ounce of fat on her. She's just amazing. And apparently she's in her 40s or 50s or something. But she's looking really good for her age. And it was a beautifully um, made cinematonic pictures were just beautiful. It was a very interesting movie, as in psychos and cannibalism and stuff. But when I watched it was for the scenery. Oh wow, Australia is beautiful, and that river looks a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't think I like the idea of psychos running around it, but hey, the rest of it was cool, and even the sort of the start of it, where she wakes up and she's on a tent on the side of a mountain. It's like whoa, the photography is just amazing. Now I don't know whether it's AI, I don't know whether it's real or not, but all I know is that I was impressed. And I was impressed with her, and the acting was pretty good. So it was a pretty good story. It got me involved. Put it this way, I put my glasses on to watch it. Usually I don't bother. You can watch it without glasses because it's like, ah. But yeah, if Apex, that was another escapism thing that I did this weekend. Let's play the reweaving.
This is the reweaving of self. Her hands know better now. The reweaving. She sits with her hands full of threads, not the ones they gave her, pressed into her palms at birth with instructions on how to weave a life that would make them comfortable. No, herself into existence. These threads are spun from ash, not the woman who burned beside, pulled from the ruins of her burning. Golden filaments that survived the flame because they were always hers. But by God's how it fits. How she holds them to the light. This one, the color of her laughter when no one's performing. This one, woven from the silences she finally learned to crave. Turn to what was. Shimmering wild, the part of her that was too much too loud, too tender, too true for the old pattern that could not continue. They tell her she's taking too long, that the design makes no sense, that she should follow the blueprint, use the safer colors, create something they recognize. Everything that was but her hands know better now. Everything of flames could not thread by thread. She weaves herself into existence. Not the version they approved, not the woman who burned, but something new. Something that could only emerge from the particular alchemy of her own unraveling. Someday aright. Other days the threads weave themselves. Her hands move the vessel for what wants to be born, that always wanted to be born, what waited through the ashes for permission to emerge. And slowly, very slowly, the cloth takes shape. Not like anything she's ever seen before. It's not comfortable or conventional or designed for their approval, but by God's, all of them, how it fits. It wraps around her like a skin she was always meant to wear. How the colors sing her name. This is how the patterns tell the story that only she could tell. Of the burning, of the becoming, of death and rebirth, and of woman who learned to weave her hands know better, her whole self from her own sacred threads, spun from ash and moonlight, pulled from the ruins of the burning. Thread by thread by thread by thread, she weaves herself into existence. Not the version they approved, not the woman who burned, but something new. Something vital. Something that could only emerge from the particular alchemy of her own. This is the reweaving, but by God's how it fits. It's not a return to what was, but a creation of what could never have been before the fire taught her which threads were hers to truly hold. It's not a return to what was. It's a creation of what could never have been before. Before the fire. Thread by golden thread, she stitched herself into being a masterpiece of her own making, woven from the ash and remembering, from shadow and soul, from everything the flames couldn't take, everything that was always hers.
Reweaving. We reweave ourselves over and over again. And you know what? It's okay. It's hard sometimes, but it's still okay. It's what we do. You know, I was reading that consciousness flickers in and out. So we reweave ourselves basically every breath. It's like every lifetime is one breath. You don't know whether you're going to take the next. And it's like, okay, that's fine. Okay, that's the way it is. Right. We don't fight what we can't change, you know, what we go through it. And it's not hard, not easy. And I watch so many people going through so much pain. And to be honest, it's like I can't find the right words for many of them. All right. All I know is I could just sit with them. And my partner gets very upset with the word, with the phrase holding space. He says, what the frickin' heck does that mean? It means a load of rubbish. Okay, fine. Holding space means sitting with you while you hurt. And that's it. And finding the right words is not necessarily going to happen. And since my stroke, I've realized that words were my whole thing before then. Right, I created this whole radio station around words, hypnotherapy words, hypnosis, NLP words, spell weaving, spell sounds, weaving the stories, weaving the words. Okay, that is one part of it. It helps. Finding the right words that fit you. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to back off and say, no, that doesn't fit me. No, I'm totally different. And I do it myself. There was I looking for a Kindle self-help book last night, and I was going through all of these books, and I was reading in the blurge that they put up, and nope, that doesn't sound like me at all. Nope, there's another guy spouting off how we're all the same. Nope, I don't work that way. And it was like, hang on, ease back. You know, it's obviously just not. Look within first, trying to find stuff without. In other words, if I find a word that doesn't fit, just be aware first. If I find a word that does fit, just be aware first. So it works like that. You have to be aware of yourself. And it's like, if you were triggered by a word, and you just need to go on frigging Facebook or Twitter or X or whatever it's called, and you can find people being, you didn't phrase it properly. You didn't phrase the sentence properly, and somebody was triggered. You didn't put all the context in, and somebody was triggered. And it's like, well, one, it probably wasn't a human. Humans don't get triggered that easily, do they? And if they did get triggered that way, well, it serves them right. Okay? Just like put some armor on, go within first, and sort of harden up, buddy, because that's the way the world works. I don't necessarily believe that, big chunks of the people that get triggered on Facebook are actually real. Because you look at the responses and think, there was so many different ways you could have took the sentence and you took it that way. You're an idiot. But hey, that's just me. Again, triggered by words, spelling. I may not find the right word for you, right? That's gonna happen. But all I do know is that I can hold space and I can sit with you while you're going through shit. and reweaving, and all of my songs and all of my music and stories all are trying to find the right words for you. That's it. There's no agenda here, just trying to find the right words so that you can get through another shit moment. You know, it's not shit days anymore. I used to think, you just have a shit day. No. Moment by moment is hard. The whole emotional landscape is changing. And that's the collective unconscious. I'll play that song too in a bit. But it's hard. It's harder than it ever was before, okay? So yeah, I've been through quite a few hard collective unconsciousnesses. I was born into sort of like everyone was frightened of nuclear war. That fear hasn't really gone away, but the fears have grown heavier and heavier and heavier. And we've got to grow with it. We've just got to grow and expand with it. The only thing that we can do is grow. We can't buckle under the weight, because most of us would really like to do that, but we're not allowed. You got up today. Maybe that was easy, maybe it took everything you had. Either way, you did it. Tomorrow is uncertain. Right now is yours. Dark Moon Radio, we see you. We really do. Yep, see you. We see you. And I hold space for you, no matter what you're going through. You just go on to sort of TikTok and or one of those reels. I think it was actually the reels on Facebook. And you see the people crying out for help, just to be seen, to be cared for, to feel that they're not alone. And it's scary when there's so many. And there was something there the other day that was one for the world. And my wish would be that the concept of money doesn't exist. If we go back to the old barter ways, people dying in poverty, children dying of starvation because they haven't got enough money to feed themselves, that is a disgusting concept, and I could get angry about that. So that would be my wish, is that poverty, money brings out the worst in us. If we haven't got any and we're dying, you're going to find some people who are going to do anything, absolutely anything to survive. And I got very cross with all of that on something I was reading. But yeah, that is a disgusting concept. The other thing I would like is a place to belong. If it was a personal thing, a personal wish would be a place to belong. Because that's one thing I don't feel. I used to belong places. I suppose I belong with my puppy and my pussycat, my boat, my partner, but you know, a lot of us are rootless. And yeah, I'm dealing with that on a patron sort of collection now of rootlessness. And it's a freedom, and being independent is wonderful, and being off grid and being not accountable to anybody and all of that stuff. Yeah, we're taught it's a great thing, but a place to go home to afterwards, so you can travel and come back, and people would say, "Come on in." I have a few friends who do that, absolutely, but they're just as rootless as I am. And having a tribe and a community is things that we were meant for, and we don't have. And that's pretty sad. That's a bit of a sad thing. Okay, right, let's walk in the walk. Walk in a walk, talk in a talk, talk in a walk. Let's walk the walk. We are weaving a hypnotic thought. We wander paths that the world forgot. A slow, peaceful, moving rest. 1 foot, 1 breath. The body is blessed. Leaving behind the home and hearth, stepping softly into the living earth, into forests, branches and trees seduced by colour, sense and breeze. Breathing in abundance wide, letting troubles slip aside, here and now in body and mind, drifting gently, so soft and kind. We are weaving a hypnotic thought while taking a long, peaceful walk to rest while moving down the path, leaving behind our home and hearth. Stepping into a world of forests and trees, being seduced by nature's flowers and colored leaves, listening and breathing in all the abundance of life, and leaving behind all troubles and strife, being present and aware in both body and mind, drifting a little, but being kind. This is your world in the right time and space. Each thought is let go without leaving a trace. Each thought dissolves without walk a trace. And move with no other desire or intent. No need to grasp. Walking through the air that is never spent. Though the air that is never spent. Your feet move on the ground with nature's song as your only sound. Acknowledge your thoughts, flutter and blow, but don't follow them, just let them go. Awareness of walking, and that alone. With patience and self-love, it will become home. A deeper knowing of being still inside, of facing oneself without having to hide. While weaving a wave while you walk, peace is found while you walk your talk. Thoughts may flutter, rise and flow, see them smile and then let them go. Awareness walking away, nothing exists but here and there. With patience, self-love finally home, the art of presence becomes your own. A deeper stillness held inside, no masks to wear, no need to hide. While weaving a wave while you walk, peace is found while you talk your walk. While weaving a wave, while waving a wave, while walking a wave, while weaving a walk. Peace is found when you talk your walk. Peace is found when you walk your talk. This is your journey and it will glow. Peace is found and weaving a wave with every stride. But you are so much more than you think you know. This is the way you must follow the flow. Walk the truth, this is the way you must follow the flow. This is your journey, watch it glow. You are far more than you think you know. Follow the rhythm, steady and slow. This is the way you follow the flow. This is the way you follow the flow. Oh, wasn't that nice? The birds and the bees and the butterflies. Spring is in full gear, and I was so delighted to hear the bird song when it arrived after the winter, and now it's like, oh, shut it up. Yeah, noisy little sounds. No, it's not that bad. There's some beautiful bird songs out there. We've got where we are now, because we've moved the boat. There was actually what do they call it? The word is I think it was a cuckoo. That's it, cuckoo. It was you could hear the doo-doo, and I don't know much about bird songs. I really don't. I understand it's the birds sing just show their stamina and how long they can do it. And they're shouting about mating and trying to attract a mate. Apart from that, no individual bird songs. I don't think. But the cuckoo was something. I didn't know there was cuckoos here, and that's the first time I've heard one here. We've also got huge birds of prey. Now, I think they're red kites. but some of them are very, very pale red. But they're huge. I mean, like, wow, this is eagle size in my world. We get little kestrels and stuff like that as well, but the birds of prey mainly these days are kites, and there's lots of them. And their scream goes right the way through you. It's beautiful. It's like, whoa, as the scream sound, frequency sounds. I'm very, very sensitive to frequency sounds. And hey, we're chugging along. We're like nearly nearly 2 months after a stroke. So I have to say that my senses needed time to settle. And I'm getting there. There's definitely a more at one stage I was thinking this isn't my brain. I was put back into a different brain, or my brain has been transported or something. It didn't feel like it fitted in my skull. I know, that sounds really weird, but that's how it felt. And at least I've embedded myself in my own skull now. Look, I am strange. The way I go through things and work things out, I don't know anyone else who does it this way. But it's the way I'm doing it, and it works for me. It might, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm just going to stop apologizing for myself these days. I've joined. I put a subscription down to X, because politically, I have to be aware of all the levels. Now, it takes a lot of energy, maybe, but what is happening in the world affects us. I mean, economy, it all affects us. You know, everything affects us. So being aware of what affects you is very important to me. And I was watching what was going on in London over the weekend, and it's very interesting. I think that, yes, there is like deep, deep, deep unrest building, and it has been. But a lot of us have seen it coming for the last 20 years. You know, they've primed this. Who's they? Well, people who have a lot of money and a lot of influence and have been kind of running this country from behind the headline. You know, they own the politicians. Every politician up there that I can see is bought. Somebody's bought him. He might as well be a racing car with like all his sponsors. And I don't think that Britain is different in that. But looking at the energy levels of all those people, a lot of them can't meet you in the eye. If you notice that, they look down very quickly. It's like, yeah, don't look too deeply because you'll see what I've been either made to do or I've done. Ooh, a lot of shame there. But there was a lot of good people on the streets of London. There was a lot of not good people, but there was a lot of good people, a lot of families, a lot of old people on the streets of London trying to fight for their country in the way they know best. And yeah, I have a lot of respect for that. So I thought, well, I want to see where X is meant to be free media. I'm not saying it is, it's meant to be. Free media where it's not controlled. And I think that that's probably a good source of information these days. So I've been combing both sides of the left wing and the right wing newspaper, news on Twitter, and yeah, I'm just like, can't you see the controlling here? It's puppets. It's all kind of the same pattern. Pattern actually hasn't changed in the last couple of years. It's got more intense, but it's still the same thing. It's like they're playing the same same hand of cards is still playing out. Yeah, can't not be aware of what's going on in the world. And do I have an opinion? No, not yet. Oh, nope, no opinions, because I think my only opinion is that there's an awful lot more to come, and I think that the hand isn't finished playing yet. We're still seeing there's still things waiting in the wings. It's like it's not finished yet. Yeah, and there's an awful lot of nasty. I don't like nasty. I try and not to look at nasty. When you things like grooming gangs and wars and the things that people are capable of, I don't want to look at that. Right now, I'm allowed to sort of flinch away. But the Apex movie with the psycho in it, and how she looked at him and she said, well, is there something wrong with me? And she looked at him and said, I think you've been hurt. I think somebody hurt you. And we didn't find out whether it was just her sentence. It was very carefully scripted. She didn't say that much. She was very good. And the actress was very good. But I think you've been hurt. There are so many people out there who have been hurt, and they are now psychopaths. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why are these people being created? Yeah. The dark isn't empty. It's full of people who are coping quietly and learning the long way back. Ooh, and they're finding the long way back. Why not? But you can find me on X now. Dark Moon Rocks, of course it is. Dark Moon Rocks across the board. Sylvanus, I think Sylvanus is the username I used. Okay, let's play a AI song. I like some of my AI song. I'm going to defend that. Now, my partner says that everybody hates AI, and if you use it, they'll hate you. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend a couple of hours making a picture or a thumbnail for one of my posts. Okay, I do a lot of posting. I enjoy the writing. Right now, doing the pictures, it's a lot easier just to give it to AI to do it. Is that wrong? Well, it's a tool. I'm not going to put photographs up that make them look like they're real. You pretty well know that they're AI. In fact, yeah, they're obviously AI. My writing is not AI. Some of my graphics are AI. And the music, well, I keep trying to explain myself. The words are all mine. Put it that way. So let's have that one. The words are all mine, and I pay for a commercial license, so I'm allowed to put it out. All the other stuff that I do, sort of the main music that I play, that's from Pixabay. Pixabay has license-free and creative license, so as long as you don't have it standing alone. So as long as I mix it up together, it's all fine, and I can play it on YouTube. So I've been using that for a while. I am learning how to do slowly learning the little controller so I can make my own music. But that's taking time. That may take several years because I'm learning very slowly these days. Okay, let's play this one.
Reality shifts and accountability has flown. What after all is truly known? A qualification.
Whoops. I don't think that's quite right. Whoopsie. Okay, well, somehow that one was not right. Let's try this one. Here we go. This is the whole thing together. I'll get rid of that. That was just vocals. That just took the vocals apart. You can separate the vocals from the instrumental. This is the whole thing together.
Accountability has flown. What after all is truly known? A qualification does not prove a thing. I have mine, but will you hear me sing? Let us talk about class, science and life, and truth is bent and justice forgets what justice meant. Crime is no longer crime if we redefine, and we judge a lemon sweeter than a lime. It is not all men's fault. Lay down that spear. The scapegoating chorus is getting unclear, and nothing good grows in a wasteland of salt. When bitterness pretends it is no one's fault, we reap confusion when the ground is wrong and wonder why we cannot stay strong. So what is true, and who decides which voice leads and which voice hides? When facts get twisted for someone's gain, we keep repeating the very same pain. But clarity dawns when the illusions part. Truth lights the map back to a steadier heart.
There we go. You see, a lot more singing. I can't sing like that. It's not going to happen. So that was reality shifts. But yeah, whew, lots of. I think we're coming to the end. Yes, we are. Wow. You see, it goes a lot quicker when I do an hour. It works better because I start sort of going, I've had enough. Can't do any more. So I will be back tomorrow morning at 9. And yeah, check my radio station. It's on Dark Moon Rocks. It's on Dark Moon Rocks website. So darkmoon.rocks. You can listen now. Lots of stories on there. I might be trying to do a podcast. I haven't recorded anything since my stroke. So apart from these live shows, but I haven't done any more recordings since the 23rd of March. So I'm still trying to get back into that. I will put an update on Patreon. Patreon, it's all free membership. I would really appreciate your support if you can get onto Patreon or Substack. Just press like, just that. Just to know that, I'm not talking to myself. That would be awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna play another song out. There we go. So love you lots. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye now.
Hear me now as the circle spins, a spell of power that rises within. From breath to word, from word to tone, I claim my voice, I make it known. Let rhythm gather, let cadence grow, let the truth in my marrow begin to flow. With every line my present expands, a leader who rises by heart, not hands. My voice is a beacon, a silver flame, drawing the weary, the curious, the sane. Resonant, steady, magnetic in flight, a star that speaks in the hush of the night. Let those who hear, feel, called to me, like waves returning to their sea. Let listening deepen, let interest spark, let echoes follow long after the dark. By breath and beat, by pulse and spell, my stories hold where others fell. I speak in layers, root, bone, sky, a voice remembered when moments no force, fly. No bind, no shadowed chain, just truth that rises through loss and pain. Authentic fire, a sovereign tone, the strength that stands and lives alone. I sing, I speak, I weave, I rise. My voice is heard through many eyes, magnetic, bright, enduring, clear. I call my people ever near. As the spiral turns, my reach grows wide, flowing outward, tide by tide. Those meant to hear will feel the call, a gentle pull, the softest thrall. Round and round the spiral wings, the power gathers, the power breathes. Spell begins, voice awoken, spell begins again. What I speak, the world will keep. Round and round the spiral wings, power gathers, power breathes. Voice awoken, old and deep. What I speak, the world will keep. Voice awoken, old and deep. What I speak, the world will keep. Round and round the spiral weaves, the power gathers, the power breathes. I speak, I sing, I weave, I rise. My voice is heard through many eyes. The surface bright, enduring, clear. Spell I call my people ever new, from breath to word.